What's goody to any and everybody who may be listening? Now, we are going to be getting into this aspect of my right eye. Many, of course, well, no one knows because I don't really tell anyone that I am blind in my right eye, and this was due to a cataract developing there after a somewhat minor accident, which occurred in the year, I believe it was 2013. And I was in the car with two of my ex friends. We will be getting on them later on, but by the name, one was named Dior, and the other's name was the other's name was Rudy. Okay, and hold on. Yeah, and I was in the car with them. I met these individuals in jail. Well, I met Dior in jail. And that's a whole nother post about how I wound up in jail. We're going to be getting into that. But I met Dior while I was in jail in Atlanta, Georgia. Okay, and we became not friends. I mean, quote friends, because this individual was not my friend. Do I get a wristband? Hey,
Hi.
how you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. How I get a wristband?
Oh, you get in line.
You just get in line,
Yeah.
okay.
Let me go check the other. I'll be right back.
Ooh, she around the corner, honey. She around the corner. I'm sorry, y'all. I don't know if I'm gonna keep this one, but I just might. I'm out here standing in line at Thanksgiving. You know what I'm saying? They giving to charity. So since I'm charity, we gonna be in line. But anyway, where was I at? Where was I at? I forgot where the hell I was at. Oh, so okay, the line ain't that long now. Cause baby, this thing gonna be long later. Let me go ahead and stand. This was a 3-car collision. One car was in front, and one car was behind. As the individual in the front stopped too quickly on brakes, and Michael Dior hit that individual, and then the car behind us hit us. So I hit my head not only on the seat, the back seat of Michael Dior, but on the back where the window is. Okay. And I developed a cataract in that eye. That I did not realize I had this cataract at first. It took me a while to realize it, but I noticed that I was seeing. One day I noticed that I was seeing double vision. So I did the eye test, where I closed one eye and looked out, and that the left eye. The left eye was fine. And then when I did that to the right eye, I noticed that it was very blurry, like very white. Like the lens was white. Okay. And so at first I was like, how the fuck this happened? Like I did not know where that had came from, because this was like it was sudden. And I had no idea. But then I thought back to the car accident, and it was like eureka. It was like a light bulb went off in my head. It could have been about 2 weeks or maybe 2 weeks to a month after the accident where I realized that I had this eye problem. Okay. Now I'm not going to say anything about what I think. I'm just gonna let the details continue to come in. But what I am gonna say is that this eye became something that these beings, I don't want to call them otherworldly because they're not really otherworldly. These beings were leeches and parasites that leached off of my soul energy. So to call them otherworldly is will be said is that's an overstatement. But these shadow people. It started with the shadow people first. Um, when the very first time I went under using the drug methamphetamines, they came in and entered through my right eye. But this was how many years later? I got the cataract in 2013. And it is now 2023. So this was about 3 years ago. It could be 4 years ago when these beings, the shadow people, came in while I was high. I guess you could say high. While I was high, but I was just going under. I wasn't doing it for the high. Just let's be clear. They came in through my right eye, the eye that I was blind in. And I remember thinking, I remember thinking, like, do they know that I'm blind in that eye? That's what made it so, that's where most of the hallucinations were coming from. Like, it was like this lens that they had put over my eye. They did something to that eye, where they put a lens over it or did something where I was seeing the hallucinations out of this eye. But it didn't make sense because I was blind out of that eye. So I knew that I knew that what I was seeing out of that eye was a hallucination because of the fact that I was blind in that eye. So anyway, there's something else I'm going to talk about having to do with this eye, talking about a nanobot as well, but it's not going to be in this one. Okay? But whatever the case may be, these creatures have been using that eye for whatever. I don't know what their aims have been. Okay. But I do know that they're it doesn't matter. I just wanted to note this so that we can do what we're doing with it and move forward. Thank you for listening. Bye-bye.